Oh yes, my people. This one, another one. U.S. President lambast Tinubu and his government. Well, I would say there is no time the U.S. president don't used to come on hard to Tinubu. This time around, it is not small issue. We will say not be small thing. It is not a little small issue. The U.S. president has lambast on our President Tinubu for his administration, for his failure, and for the thing that is going on in the government, both the issue of killing and the issue of destroying things in his administration. So I would like you to watch this video to the end. This our brother here explain everything that is happening between Tinubu government and Trump, because this time around Trump is not getting it easy with Tinubu. In fact, he's giving it to Tinubu the way he wants it. That is why Tinubu is not happy at all with the way Trump is ruling. He is not really happy. As you're about to watch the video, try to like, subscribe, and share the video to go around the world for others to see the evil that is going on in Nigeria and the thing that is happening in the government. Thank you.
Whenever the US government makes a negative comment against Tinubu or any of his policies, you hear narratives like, they want something from us. Because we're not giving it to them, they are attacking us. They try to spin the narrative that it is because of that thing they want, whether natural resources or anything, and because Nigerians are not playing ball, they are now attacking us. But when they make a positive comment, they now start saying, it's an affirmation of what we've been telling Nigerians, that Nigeria is working, blah, blah, blah. And to see the double standards in these narratives, when the US government led by Barack Obama was pushing for a regime change in Nigeria, that's more than a decade ago, the narrative never changed. The same people that are spinning narratives today never said it was because they wanted something from Goodluck Jonathan and Nigerians. And because he wasn't giving it to them, that was why they were attacking him at that time. As a matter of fact, the then US President Obama held meetings with northern governors. He held meetings with Buhari and many APC loyalists. So this latest jab from the US mission in Nigeria proves that Tinubu is not able to lobby the Trump administration. Remember, under the past administration in the US, that's under Joseph Biden, the US mission never threw this kind of jab at Tinubu. It was almost like they were in bed with him. But since Trump came to power, many things changed. It's also important to know that under the Trump administration, a court in Washington, D.C. ordered the FBI, the DEA, the CIA, and other agencies to release all the files they have about Tinubu without redaction. Yes, under the Biden administration, the court ordered them to release the files, but when they released the files, they were heavily redacted to the extent that you wouldn't recognize if they were talking about Tinubu or not. But this time around, under a new sheriff in town, the court ordered them to release these files without redaction so that we can truly see the extent of what he did in the United States. Tinubu was investigated by the FBI and the DEA for drug-related offenses. He eventually forfeited $460,000 being proceeds of drug trafficking. So it seems the Trump administration is not trying to favor anyone. They are not covering up for anyone. They are being as transparent as they can. So it's not a surprise that the US mission in Nigeria posted this on their verified X handle. They quoted 3 articles, the Africa Report from Budget IT and another CIS LAC Nigeria. After that, they added their own comment, saying, such alleged lack of fiscal responsibility fuels inequality and erodes public trust. While Nigerians are urged to endure economic hardship like labor pains, some governors are splurging billions on new government houses. Budget IT warns that instead of funding schools, clinics, or agriculture, leaders prioritize buildings they barely use. The last one adds, there is no money, little accountability, and no priority. Not that this is worth celebrating or that people should start saying, the US is coming to save us. We should now relax and wait for them to save us. No. Every country in the world, including the United States, whatever they do in the international scene, whatever is their foreign policy, is always about them. They always take care of their interest. Who wouldn't do? Yes, that's the reality. Forget the fact that Nigerian leaders or African leaders don't care about their people. Yes, they like to sit on the throne, they like to govern their people, but all their policies seem like they are always against their people. They are more interested in looking good abroad. They are more interested in taking care of the needs of foreigners instead of their own people. So it's not as if this is worth celebrating, but this is the time for the opposition to push harder. Yes, no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And when you save yourself, you are better off. You don't have conditions attached to them. Whenever a foreign country saves you, there are always conditions. Yes, you must pay back. It's like a loan that you must repay. That's how it works. They won't do it for nothing. No one is running a charity. All they do is for the interest of their own people. That's how good their leaders are. They always put their people first. It's only in Africa or in Nigeria that you see leaders thinking about looking good, thinking about their reputation abroad. Who gives a damn? You should look inwards and make sure your country works and uplift your people and pull people out of poverty. If you do that, foreigners will respect you. That's how it works. Respect is earned, not bought, or you try to use lobbying to get respect. No, that's artificial. If you look at how China did it, the reason China is being respected around the world today is because they did what? They lifted millions out of poverty. 50 years ago, China was mostly an agrarian economy. But today, there is no sector you will count in the world that they are not either number one or maybe number two. So what they've done is nothing short of a miracle. It also shows that if leaders commit to a vision and judiciously work towards it, there is no dream that is not achievable. It's also a shame that Nigeria's GDP was once higher than that of China. But today, Nigeria's GDP can maybe be compared to one city in China. So like already said, the opposition should go harder, not just because of political gain, but to mount pressure on this administration, because ultimately it is Nigerians that are losing. Yes, if a government comes to power and wastes 4 years, it is Nigerians that lost, not the politicians, because they have been there enjoying all the trappings of office, even stealing on top of everything with all the corruption that is going on, fixing their people in power in places of influence. So Nigerians always lose when a government fails to perform. Just like the last decade can be counted as a loss to Nigerians. Imagine people who were 20 years in 2015. Today they are 30 years. Maybe they are still looking for jobs. They are going from mouth to mouth. So there is practically no future. When their colleagues in other countries are busy employed, some have already bought homes, many are already family men with 4 kids raising their family, while a Nigerian youth that is 35 years or even 40 years doesn't even have a girlfriend, not to talk of being married. He can't pay for house rent. He doesn't have an access to a mortgage to buy his own home. He can't buy a car. He's practically existing, not living the good life. So Nigerians should join the opposition and mount pressure on the administration so that they can focus on governance. Since after the backlash that followed the fuel subsidy removal and the subsequent devaluation of the naira, they've been in campaign mode, trying to defend themselves instead of focusing on showing workings. If Nigerians are seeing what they are doing with the petrol subsidy money, then there are no problems. But they can't show what they are doing with the money. On top of that, they are borrowing billions of dollars every day. The past 2 years alone, they have borrowed about 70% of Nigeria's GDP. Can you imagine that? Where are they investing all this money? The worst part is, all the major projects they have executed are non-priority projects, like the coastal road, which as at the last time, they only commissioned about 30 kilometers out of 700 kilometers. In Abuja, they spent more than 30 billion naira renovating a conference center when many hospitals and schools are lacking basic amenities in a country they said is nearly bankrupt. How is it justifiable that Tinubu bought a new presidential jet when there are up to 5 or more in the presidential fleet? Are we going to talk about the 90 billion naira he spent sponsoring people to Hajj? How can someone spend a humongous amount of money to promote tourism in another country when local tourism in Nigeria is at an all-time low? Not to talk of international tourism in Nigeria. Nigerians can't freely move around their country because of the high cost of transportation, followed by terrorism, kidnapping, and general insecurity. So these are the issues the government should be tackling, not playing politics with everything. This is why Nigerians should take the 2027 presidential election very seriously. If you fail to come out to vote and defend your vote to the last collation center, then you will have yourself to blame. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to defend that vote for you. Even the person you voted for is not going to be at all the polling units or at all the collation centers defending votes. He's not Superman. You have to defend the vote by yourself. Organize yourselves at your local polling units. The good guys will always outnumber the bad guys. Use everything in your power to defend your vote. It is your civic right. Thanks for watching.
That is it, my people. We all know how the Tinubu government and how Trump is going. We all know it, that since Trump gets into power, it has been a tough thing to Tinubu from one edge to another. But that is not the end. What we need Trump to do is to come into Nigeria and to come and give Biafran their call and give them referendum and make sure that there is mass Namekano. That is what we need, because it's like Nigerian government, they are so adamant. They are not listening to anybody, and their own is that no matter whatever you do, you cannot do them anything. So we don't need anything anymore, but we need our freedom, and we need Trump should come into to know what to do, to look into the cry of the Biafran, to look into the cry of Nigeria, and to look into the cry of the killings of people here and there, because the issue of Fulani is men every day, bombing, killing, and bringing people down everywhere, and nobody is talking. When you talk, some of them will say you are a partisan or you are against the government, even though the government, what all of them do is only the issue of politics, power, how to gain power in 2027. So no matter what the people cry, no matter what the citizens do, it does not matter. It does not concern them. So what we need from Trump, that he should come into and they look into the cry of the masses, look into the cry of the people, mostly the Christians, because the way the Christians are dying everywhere, it is not something that we need to just look in, or we need to just sweep under the carpet. The government, they don't care. If you like, cry. If you don't like, leave. They don't care. Their own is power. No matter whatever you do, they don't care. What we all need in the country is this issue of bringing people together, an issue of marginalizing one zone and keeping one zone, claiming this one give me this one give me that. I don't understand the system. So nobody understands the system, in short. If Trump will be a man of the all, and mostly a man of Africa, if you want African to praise him, to say yes, he tries, this is the time to come into Africa. Some of all those African countries that have been marginalizing their people, and mostly in Nigeria, you should come and look into, and they find out what next to do, what next, what is the needful, what are those people crying for, and what is their cry. Because every day you will see people beside the government, they are only for themselves, they are only for their family, and they are only for their selfish interest. None of them that think about the people that vote them. It is only when they need your vote, it is when they will come and tell you that they will do this, they will do that. After voting and after everything, they would now climb on top of their high ox and stays there. If you talk, they will call you a nuisance, or they will find a name and tag you if they did not even kill you. So we need freedom, and we need to be liberated from this issue of marginalization, an issue of keeping people in one place, an issue of not developing any parts. As an African, we need to grow. As a Biafran, we need to grow. As a Nigerian, we need to also grow. Those who want to stay as one Nigeria will leave, and those who don't want to stay as one Nigeria will also leave, because all this issue of Fulani, X-Men everywhere, banditry everywhere, and Boko Haram everywhere, it is not the best way to go. Nigerians should wake up, and Trump should come to our aid. The EU, AU, they need to come to our aid to see that Nigerian is a country that, if it is something that, in fact, this is the main time to grant a referendum to those who need it, and to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to free him to go back home and rest. Subscribe, share, and I would like to hear your comments down below. Thank you for watching.